Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, we're playing some Imperium online. That is, of course, if I can get the game to load. We're playing on Alpha 1.4. It's for you guys that haven't tried this game out and you like survival games and space kind of science fiction-y games. This game is amazing, especially if you're already a fan of Space Engineers, which is an absolutely awesome game, especially because Space Engineers focuses a little bit more on the building aspect. Their features and machines and controls that they have in their game is next to none. I mean, there really isn't any other game like that. Empyrean, like if we had a game like StarMade. StarMade is like a space Minecraft, so okay, think Minecraft in space. A game like Minecraft in space, and then Space Engineers. I feel like Empyrean falls somewhere right in the center. It's a little bit easier to get into. The controls and the crafting and things are a little bit more rudimentary. The building is feels a little bit more like building in Minecraft, but you still have the ability. I mean, I think this game has like 8 full planets. You can fly into space and then build spaceships, build bases, mine minerals, etc., etc., and then do a bunch of crafting. So usually, and I'm going to play a survival game. So this is going to be a new game that I'm starting. I think I'm going to start on Akua. So you've got a couple different starting locations. You got Omicron. It's more difficult to start on. Obviously, the food is. I mean, look at this thing, and it's full of like nasty, I don't know, spider-looking, creepy crawlies that are terrifying. Um, or Akua, which is a lot easier to play on your first try. It's kind of a forested, lots of water. There's oxygen. It's pretty easy to play. Um, yeah, so I'll play in survival mode. Um, let's see. Let's change our seed. I'm gonna change my seed to. Oh, that's right. You can't use numbers anymore. Um, let's go with. No, let's just form. I like to find one that I can remember, just because if I like the map, I can go back to it at a later date. Um, I suppose I could just look at the save game, probably find the seed. Yeah, let's just find a random one. That looks good. So we'll set that. What the seed does, if anybody doesn't know, these games are procedurally generated. So the way that works is the game looks at that original seed, that random number, and then it generates a world based on certain parameters or rules. Places things in certain, mountains in certain places, where you start, the way the terrain looks, where enemy bases are, points of interest, etc., etc. It puts all of those things on the map based on your seed. So let's say I play a game with this seed 293169, and then my buddy is playing and he's just like, I don't like the world I'm in, and I say, hey, try 293169. It's not random because the computer's going to follow and it's going to recreate this entire solar system. I believe that's what it is. It's like a full size. Well, I don't know if the distances between are full size because honestly, I have not actually gotten into space yet, which is one of the things I like about this game. I've built some hover vehicles, and that's about it. Me and my buddy Azza, who when he gets his computer back and has his house fully built, which he's in the middle of doing, hopefully will be on and streaming with me sometimes. But basically, uh, the seed determines that world. So it follows a set of rules based on. It's crazy. I mean, you can basically think of it like a compression algorithm, a very, very complicated compression algorithm. So those 6 numbers dictate an entire solar system, which to me just blows my mind. It just, I mean, that's some math right there. So that's essentially what's happening when you put in that seed. So I'm starting from scratch. I really haven't, like I said, really haven't gotten very far. they added a bunch of cool stuff. They've added, you can now have wood structures, which you couldn't before, and that's what I built before. And I'll probably start off again because it's so easy, especially on Akua, to gather wood and to craft with it. So it's nice just to get like a starting base somewhere made out of wood. Last time I started way up on a mountain, and I think that was, I don't know, I was a little too, now this actually looks strangely similar to, oh, I forgot, you can actually guide this. This actually looks fairly similar to the last map I was on. I suppose, you know, there's going to be a lot of similarities, but this is very similar to the place I started before. So let's put myself down. I kind of like to get... Sounds a little high. Let me fix that for you guys. I don't want to blow your ear balls out. Let's turn the ambient sounds down a little bit. That's a little better. So first thing I'm gonna do is leave the pod. Oh. You know what? Did it change my keys again? There was an update. Why must you change all my keys, Batman? Roll left, roll right, jump. Yep, that changed all my keys. So we want to do that. Down is that. Run is that. Jetpack's fine at J. Open and use, I usually make that. Inventory, I make R. Map, I make tab. Control panel is P, that's fine. I'll just have to come back. I'm sure I'll have to reference these again for some of this stuff. Creative menu, I don't even think I've used that before. They've added a lot of stuff. Make my reload middle mouse button, I like that. I prefer my drop to be X. Helmet, warp drive. A lot of this stuff I, again, haven't even... Switching views, build tools, console. So, like I said, I'll come back to a lot of this, but I'd like to at least have some basics down. Yeah, that's fine. So, let's take everything out of the escape pod, because eventually it will go away. This is nice. We got some... This is actually a really nice place to land. Those little plants there, little hot dog plants, you can just straight up eat them as a food. Corn dog plants, which is hilarious. Like, I love their humor. I'm gonna pick some corn dogs. Everybody knows corn dogs grow on the ground. So, first thing I gotta do is place the survival constructor. I think some of this stuff you can harvest. I don't know if it must not be this. There's some stuff you can get. I don't want to pick all of these, but you can. Later, there's like a little mission slash. Can I change my field of view? I thought I could. It's a little low right now. Yeah. No, I know why, because I'm only at 1400 by 9. Best quality, full screen VSync. Nice. Not exactly sure. Maybe I come out of full screen and then go back into full screen for it to go back into